Hey folks, the holiday season is shaping up to be a lot less merry for retailers this year. Big names like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot are slamming the brakes on orders, canceling billions of dollars worth of goods. This is a sign that the economy might be headed for a stocking full of coal with potential long-term impacts. Remember those pandemic-era shopping sprees? Turns out they might have been a sugar rush, not a sustainable diet for the economy. Now, with wallets feeling lighter and prices still climbing, consumers are thinking twice before splurging on that new flat-screen TV or diamond tennis bracelet. This sudden shift has sent shockwaves through the retail industry, affecting everyone from store clerks to CEOs. Those overflowing containers of merchandise, they're turning into a logistical nightmare, piling up at ports and warehouses across the country, causing delays and headaches. And it's not just the big guys feeling the pinch. Smaller businesses, already struggling to stay afloat, are bracing for a potentially devastating holiday season, with fewer customers and tighter budgets. The message is clear. Things are changing, and not for the better. The economic landscape is shifting, so buckle up, Buttercup, because this sleigh ride might get a little bumpy. The road ahead is uncertain, and everyone needs to be prepared. So, what exactly is driving this retail retreat? Let's just say the economy is facing a perfect storm of nasty weather. First up, we've got inflation, that pesky monster that makes everything more expensive. Remember when a gallon of milk cost like a reasonable amount? Those were the good old days. Yeah, those days are gone. Now even basic necessities feel like luxury items. Then there are interest rates, which the Federal Reserve keeps hiking up faster than you can say supply chain disruption. Higher interest rates mean borrowing money gets more expensive, making it tougher for businesses to invest and for consumers to finance big purchases. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, consumer debt. Americans are sitting on a mountain of it, from credit cards to car loans to those student loans that never seem to go away. It's a burden that follows many for decades. All this adds up to one big financial headache, leaving people with less money to spend on non-essential items. It's a vicious cycle. Inflation makes everything more expensive, forcing people to rely on credit, which becomes more costly thanks to rising interest rates. And in the middle of it all are retailers, caught in the crosshairs of a shrinking consumer base. They face the challenge of attracting customers who are increasingly cautious with their spending. Okay, time for some hard facts. How bad are these cancellations really? Let's dive into the details. Well, according to recent reports, major retailers have canceled billions of dollars in orders for the upcoming holiday season. This is not just a minor hiccup. We're talking about a significant drop in demand for everything from clothing and electronics to home goods and toys. The impact is widespread. For example, Walmart, the retail behemoth, has reportedly canceled billions in orders, particularly for items like apparel and home goods. This is a major shift in their usual operations. Target, another retail giant, has also significantly reduced its orders and is sitting on a surplus of inventory. This surplus indicates a mismatch between supply and demand, and it's not just them. Home Depot, the go-to for DIY enthusiasts, has seen a decline in demand for building materials and home improvement products. This trend is affecting various sectors. These cancellations aren't just anecdotes, they're backed up by hard data. The numbers are clear and undeniable. Import volumes at major U.S. ports have dropped significantly, indicating a slowdown in the flow of goods into the country. This is a critical indicator. This decline in imports is a clear sign that retailers are anticipating weaker consumer demand in the coming months. The future outlook is concerning. The numbers don't lie. This isn't just a blip on the radar, it's a full-blown trend. The data points to a larger economic issue, and it's one that has experts worried about the health of the U.S. economy as a whole. The implications are far-reaching and significant. Sure, canceled orders might sound like a problem for CEOs and shareholders, but the reality is, this economic downturn hits everyday Americans the hardest. Remember those lower-income families already struggling to make ends meet? They're the ones who feel the pinch of inflation most acutely. Think about it. When prices for essentials like food, gas, and rent skyrocket, something's got to give. And that something is often discretionary spending, the very things retailers are banking on to salvage the holiday season. This means fewer gifts under the tree, fewer holiday feasts, and fewer opportunities to create those picture-perfect holiday memories. It also means potential job losses in the retail sector, as stores grapple with declining sales and excess inventory. The human cost of this economic downturn is real, and it's playing out in homes across the country. While politicians and economists debate the finer points of fiscal policy, families are left wondering how they'll put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room wearing the Santa hat recession. Is the U.S. economy heading for a nosedive? Well, nobody has a crystal ball, but the warning signs are flashing like a string of faulty Christmas lights. See, when consumers stop spending, businesses hurt. And when businesses hurt, they lay off workers. And when workers get laid off, they have even less money to spend, creating a vicious cycle of economic doom and gloom. Add to that the ongoing war in Ukraine, persistent supply chain issues, and a looming debt-ceiling crisis, and you've got a recipe for economic indigestion that even the most seasoned economist would struggle to stomach. The good news? It's not all doom and gloom. The U.S. economy is nothing if not resilient, and there are still factors that could prevent a full-blown recession. But one thing's for sure, the road ahead is going to be bumpy, and we'd all better buckle up. Experts sound the alarm. This isn't your average holiday slump. Don't just take our word for it, folks. Even the experts are starting to sweat. Economists, market analysts, and retail industry veterans are all sounding the alarm bells, warning that this holiday season could be a sign of deeper economic troubles to come. This isn't just a typical holiday slump, says renowned economist Dr. Emily Carter. The confluence of factors we're seeing, high inflation, rising interest rates, and declining consumer confidence, suggests a more fundamental shift in the economy. And it's not just academics who are worried. We're seeing a level of caution and pullback from consumers that we haven't experienced in years, says Sarah Jones, CEO of a leading retail consulting firm. Retailers are right to be concerned, and they need to be prepared for a challenging year ahead. The message from the experts is clear. This is not a drill. The economic outlook is uncertain at best, and it's time for businesses and consumers alike to brace for impact. Navigating the blizzard, what's next for retailers and consumers? So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, for starters, retailers need to get creative. Discounting excess inventory, focusing on essential items, and finding ways to cut costs will be crucial for survival. Consumers, on the other hand, need to be smart with their money, creating a budget, prioritizing needs over wants, and exploring alternative gift-giving options can help weather the economic storm. This holiday season might not be the most lavish, but it can still be meaningful. Focusing on experiences over material possessions, supporting local businesses, and remembering the true spirit of the holidays can make all the difference. It's a time for adaptation, resilience, and maybe a little bit of old-fashioned ingenuity. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get resourceful. Voices from the front lines, stories from a season of cutbacks. The economic downturn isn't just about numbers and graphs. It's about real people facing real challenges. Take Sarah, a single mother of two who works as a cashier at a local Walmart. With her hours cut back due to declining sales, she's worried about how she'll afford Christmas presents for her children. I used to love seeing their faces light up on Christmas morning, she says, her voice cracking with emotion. But this year, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. And it's not just consumers feeling the pinch. John, a small business owner who runs a toy store, is struggling to keep his doors open. I've been in business for 20 years and I've never seen anything like this, he says. People just aren't spending money like they used to. These are just two stories among millions. A stark reminder that behind the economic data are real people struggling to make ends meet. A time for reflection and maybe a little less spending, so there you have it, folks. The holiday season is upon us, but the mood is far from festive. Retailers are canceling orders, consumers are tightening their belts, and the specter of recession looms large. But amidst the uncertainty, there's also an opportunity for reflection. Do we really need all the latest gadgets and gizmos? Or can we find joy in simpler things, spending time with loved ones, giving back to our communities, and appreciating what we have? This holiday season, let's try to remember the true meaning of the holidays: generosity, compassion, and gratitude. Because in the end, those are the things that truly matter.